But you see, if you woke up in the day and the bank tells you your account was hacked in, or our money section has been hacked in every other month, you would be scared as a person who's actually operating with your, if at all you're having your savings with that particular bank.
Yeah. I think this urges, okay, I would encourage Ugandans to still use the banks. They shouldn't be scared because this happens because it's not only in Uganda, even in other countries, because we've seen companies being hacked into and billions of money are lost. And I'm talking about dollars in this case, not just. So it's not something new, but now, you see, we've been having people, there have been attacks that people into the technology sector in terms of incubation, whereby they are really given so much attention to invest, like for investors. Now, such a case comes in at a time we see people who develop apps, you know, we know students at Makerere, they do so many things. I think the government should really take this thing so serious because these people need a certain financing for them to develop these apps. And why apps? Because if they can develop apps, meaning they can develop systems that can track cybercrime.
But you see, if you also mentioned about Makerere, now of recent, Chambogo University had issues with hacking, where someone hacked into information of over 2,500 students, and their information was lost in terms of their financial statements.
Yeah.
So it was actually lost. And this, according to the police, is because the university officials decide to use outsiders to actually facilitate these activities. Something which is worrying, because I guess we have students who are doing IT lessons, like IT courses like you mentioned. It is better for the government to actually add more funds to boost them.
Yes.
Which will actually help them out. If we are fighting like cybercrime, it has to start with us. And it means each one of us needs to know what is the impact of cybercrime, how can we fight it, and what should we do, and which safety measures are we supposed to apply to make sure we survive this particular situation. And like I said, a police IT expert who preferred anonymity said, Ugandan banks are actually being hacked into almost every month. And if you're to find out, you would see that the people who hack into them are outsiders who are actually invited by the banks maybe to operate something to do with the IT situation.
Now, this is the thing I can say about that. First of all, people should know how to use passwords, you know, this whole thing of passwords. That's why when they hack into accounts or a bank...
But you see, even with passwords, people can...
No, this is, okay, like the point I'm trying to bring about passwords is how to choose the right password. Have you, you know, for those people who, like, for those of you who normally log in into certain websites or certain applications, for example, I normally try to do some BTC wallet, the Bitcoin wallet. But when you're trying to put a password and you put a certain password, they tell you that password is not right. It can easily be tracked. It can easily be hacked into.
Or someone can actually
easily. That's why. Otherwise, if they are to, why is it that when they hack into banks, certain accounts, like the money stays and others?
Oh, that is why they tell you to put a strong password, a long password. Maybe.
Perfect. So, because I saw it with that when I was opening up my Paxful. Because sometimes we want to do things for the sake of a hurry. Ask me for the password. You just want to put it so fast and leave. But take time. This is your money. So it's very important about passwords.
And you see, the reason I saw people put in, let me say, weak passwords is because it is easy to remember. Sometimes you may put in a very complicated password, and at the end of the day, you also forget
the password.
You see, even with my social media accounts, I've changed a lot of passwords in there because Google gives you a chance to they actually ask you, have you forgotten your password? So when you forget it, they either send you a code via SMS or they send you a code via email for you to change your password if at all you've forgotten it. So I think that is the same issue that is actually happening with the same bank. Issue. You may find out that some people are actually having weak passwords, but not because they want, just to have weak passwords to remember.
Yeah, that may be right at some incidents, because I've also tried it one day. whereby, for example, my Facebook password was the same as my Gmail password. But then, it's okay for other cases, but this is money. Money is something, financial matters. When it comes to financial matters, everyone has to listen.
You need to be very
serious about that. So I think that's something really people need to take into consideration. Or what they can do, if you're not so good at memorizing passwords, what you do when you put in the password in your, like let me say in your bank account, get somewhere especially you write those passwords. Trust me, as time goes on, it gets imprinted.
Surprisingly, on this issue still, not apart from the bank fraud that took a lion's share of money being lost in the last 1 year, issues of fake visas has also been ongoing.
Fake visa cards.
Yes, as well as online business fraud. Where people actually promise you maybe a business and you're like, let me send in my money. Now, how does the fake visa card come in?
A fake visa card, now, first of all, because what I know, those visa, when you get an account with a bank, that very branch where you register, actually, you may not go to the branch where you register that account, but you can go to the main branch of that bank and you get a visa card. I think we need to do things formal in Uganda. There is this what they call...
Now, by these days, banks are actually offering visa cards.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, visa cards. Because whereby you can even access your money when you are outside countries. It's the way to go. It's the way to go. And that issue of fake visa cards, the first question is where did they get them from?
I think if you look at the situation is, I think visa, first, the only good thing I know about visa is you can actually, if someone has one visa card, you can use any ATM machine, right?
Yes, exactly.
Once the ATM accepts visa, that means you can withdraw any amount of money.
In any country, actually.
But what I want to know is, if you're in Kenya, let's say, and you're using a visa, so when you go to Kenya, you withdraw in Kenyan shillings or in Ugandan shillings?
I've not been abroad before to withdraw, but what I can say is there is that system whereby it's automatically...
The currency of the country.
Yeah, there is that... It's in the system. It's in the system.
Though I think if you go to some countries, you may find that you get only a few of the money you see.
Definitely. If you have 1 million here, you go to America, you have about $200.
So you reach there and it's like... So sometimes I feel when people say our money is not that strong, but I try to understand if you have your 2 million in Uganda, it can do something more than it can do in the US.
In the US. Very true.
Because with Uganda, you can even start up a serious business.
A serious restaurant.
But if you go to the US and you're like, I have my 2M on my Visa card, let me withdraw, you'll see you'll spend all that money on a meal even. So I think it's better when you're home.
In your home, yeah.
And, but issues of fake visa, I think it actually sends a very huge warning to any one of us who's still doing okay, to everyone out there who has
everyone
an account.
out there. And actually, as Ugandans, we should embrace the art of doing things formally. There's this thing they say, you want things faster. Oh, you want a visa? No. Let me make the process easy for you.
I want a passport.
You want a passport so fast. But those things have repercussions. Uganda is not yet at that level. Other countries can do it because they're already established. Of course, it's in every country. It's not the first. But the fact that we are at the stage of, despite the pre-pandemic levels we talk about, even before the pandemic, there is a level we wanted Uganda to be. So it's high time we stop. We be formal. Let me say that. We be formal. Because if I go to, if I open up a bank account with some branch, definitely, if I want a Visa card, it makes much more sense if I go to the main branch. For that bank.
If you want a Visa card.
If you want the Visa card. Because as long as we're in the system, because you're entitled to that.
Like in other way, it's like people want to open up bank accounts and they go to agent banks out there.
Actually, I don't know what to say. I'm not discouraging you to use agent banks, but personally, it's okay if you're opening up an account like this normal account.
I see them a bit. It becomes really scary.
So many because I've seen them even so many.
Because according to even other reports, that there are also cases where most of the fraud cases have actually come through from the agent banks.
Sure.
Remember, there are quite many, and most of them are in different scattered areas. So the owners now these people realize that now most people no longer want to access the banks because of the huge traffic in the bank.
Yeah.
So they would actually focus more on these agent banks. They know now they have a lot of money.
Exactly.
So like when you're encouraging people maybe to try out accounts, you see, if you happen to go downtown,
yes,
most of the people do not love going to. Actually, I don't want to open up bank accounts actually, because they feel like the banks come with a lot of charges. Bank charges, you're supposed to pay maybe 2,500, 3,000. I actually, when I went to a bank recently to withdraw some money, and if you don't use an ATM, the lady told me, if you don't use an ATM, the charges are 5,000.
Oh,
direct.
That's,
yes, that is a direct charge if at all you're not using an ATM. But meanwhile, if you're using an ATM, 1,000.
1,000.
I think the bank is actually using it as a way to actually encourage people to use their ATM. Maybe it is safer to use a Visa card.
Yeah, it is really safe. And the fact that even when we come to normal charges, when it comes to withdraw, okay, we're not trying to discourage the agents out of the business, but when you withdraw money from your bank account through an agent, sometimes the charges are quite high.
It's just like when you're withdrawing with the money with the mobile app. I think
mobile money app, MTN mobile money.
No, some banks have apps.
The mobile bank,
the mobile app. The mobile bank apps.
Yes.
I hear even the charges are very many. And surprisingly, when you go to a bank, maybe on the account section, they tell you, would you need an account with you? Would you need a mobile money account, a mobile app account with you? So that you can just withdraw directly.
And you know, most of these things happen because their intention is not, in most cases, it's to promote their app to get more subscribers. Because when they get more subscribers, there is it's business.
But it's costly to the people. You know, it's costly to the ones that are actually using it. Hey, meanwhile, if you're Ugandan out there and you're following up with the situation here, we're now talking about our topical discussion today is mainly focusing on the online hackers who have so far stolen 14 billion Ugandan shillings, according to Interpol. Interpol is the international police, and this has been a report that has actually come out after 12 months. That is a full year running. As the latest figures compiled by Interpol Uganda show that hackers have become more lethal during the COVID-19 time. Remember, the people were actually doing mobile transactions or money transactions from the comfort of their homes, which meant that a few people were actually heading to the banks or actually reaching out to the banks to carry on transactions, and they felt it would be easier to use their mobile money or their phones to actually carry out this particular situation. That is where the fraud came in, or the online hackers have actually got to steal over 14 billion from different accounts of the people. So with this particular segment, we're going to be right back after the break to continue and conclude more about this particular issue. Keep it SMB.